What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader. Today we're going to be doing a tour of my garage in GTA 5. Now, I do actually have quite a lot of cars in this. I did actually buy absolutely tons of different vehicles a few days ago, and I was actually trying to do a tour of this garage recently, and you'll see that someone actually spawned like 60 oppressors outside my garage, and literally every time I tried to get inside it just glitched and crashed the game. So hopefully today we can actually get sorted and go inside the garage. I've got absolutely tons of awesome cars which I want you guys to see. I also have the plan to do a $20 million spending spree, so I think later on what we're going to do is we're going to dive straight into Warstock and all the different websites like Legendary Motorsports, and we're going to buy $20 million worth of stuff, because I've literally got all the facilities in the game. I've got the motorcycle club, I've got the new nightclubs from the new after hours update. I've literally got so many different things that I don't really need any facilities anymore. All I need is vehicles. And since I have the CEO tower, I have a 10-car garage with loads of different stories on, so I have so many garage spaces to actually fill that I think a spending spree video of just buying absolutely tons of cars to fit in the garage would actually be really cool. So currently we're actually flying to my house, which is actually the mansion house, and once we get there I'm going to show you every single car we've got in there. All of these are really cool cars. A lot of them are the most expensive ones in the game, but they're not actually fully modded because I currently don't have the level or the unlocks to do so, to mod them all, which is kind of a shame. That's currently the only thing letting down the garage, but the garage is full of really awesome vehicles. So I'm going to try and find a landing spot and I'm going to show you the garage. This is the mansion. You'd probably think that I'd have the apartment, which is $1 million, but this mansion is actually pretty awesome. It does have 3 different floors inside the house, and it does look like an apartment inside as well. So if you're kind of sick of the general apartments, this is a really nice property to invest in. So as we enter the garage, you can see we've got loads of different cars. I'm just going to go through each one first. This is the first car. As you can see, we have the Wagner. You can see the stats here. If you press Z, it comes up with all of the plates. This is actually modified. I have actually customized this car. Not too much though, I've just taken it for basic customization. I've made the inside as blue. I've added red trim into it, and it's got pretty good transmission. It's not got fully unlocked transmission like race unlocks or anything, because I haven't unlocked that yet. Then over here is probably one of my favourite vehicles in the whole game. This is actually the Oppressor. The Oppressor is basically a rocket bike. You can use missiles, you can use machine guns, and it gives you a big rocket boost to fly through the sky. I'm sure most of you guys have seen that. I did actually upload a video of the Oppressor Mark II, which is coming soon, of me actually test riding it after a hacker spawned it, so that's going to be really interesting. But yeah, the Oppressor's a really good bike. I think this sells for like 3.6 million though on Warstock, so it's a lot of money. It's a pretty big investment to invest in it. Then we have the Insurgent. The Insurgent is obviously one of the more expensive vehicles, but I think it's been reduced, or it's been quite cheap for a while. I think if you do maybe it's the Humane Labs heist, if you complete that you do actually get a cheaper price on it. But basically the non-turreted version, there's 2 versions, one has a turret and one doesn't. The non-turreted version is actually 800k, so it's not too expensive. And as you can see, I have custom tyres and off-road wheels to actually make it a lot better in races. I've actually chosen the black and red colour scheme, makes it look pretty nice. Most of my cars you'll see are in a blue or a black colour scheme. I think the right side of this garage is probably the more cooler looking cars, but the left side is the more convenient cars, as you'll see in a moment, like the Rocket Bike and the Stromberg. But I'm going to show the right side because it's more armoured cars. As you can see, literally every car apart from the Wagner is actually an armoured car. So if we move forwards, we have the APC. Now, you can actually upgrade the APC, I'm pretty sure, in like the Mobile Command Centre or something like that, or the Avenger. And I haven't really upgraded it. I did drive it in once. I didn't upgrade it so much because, like I said, I don't really have access to many unlocks, but I did upgrade it slightly. The great thing about this is you can actually have a different livery, or a livery, which is basically the whole skin of the vehicle. You can customize that, you can have different camos. I made it just a navy blue colour scheme, just something really simple. I'm not sure, however, though, if you can actually upgrade the weapon, because right now it's just a basic cannon. But this is really good for shooting planes out of the sky. So if I have anyone in my lobby who's minging, I basically pull this out to shoot them out of the sky. The only problem is there's literally a new plane right now that my friend owns. If you go on Warstock, there's this new B-11 Strike Force plane, which is an absolute tank. It costs 4 mil. It's so hard to blow up. My friend literally had that plane, and even the APC has a struggle shooting it down. So it doesn't always work for all aircrafts, but it's pretty strong. It takes quite a few rockets to blow up. The only thing is I'm not sure how it matches up against the Rhino tank. I would like to see that in a battle versus the tank, but it's kind of like a land tank, more of a street one that you'd see in like a riot situation, which is pretty cool. The next one you see is actually the Vigilante. So the Vigilante is basically just a Batman car, like the classic Batman. Most of you guys have probably seen it. I think this is literally the only car I have that I haven't touched since I've actually bought it. And what I mean by that is I've taken it for a test drive a few times with my friend, but I haven't actually taken it to LS Customs to customize. So far, I've not really added anything. I've not added any extra armors on this. I've not added any race transmission options. I've not changed the tyres because the tyres and wheels are kind of part of the whole look. It'd be pretty stupid to change that. But yeah, it's really nice because it does have a huge boost on the back on this big engine, so you can propel forwards really quickly. But with the power of the boost, really ruins the handling. But it's a really fun car to drive with friends, but unfortunately it only has 2 seats. This did put me back quite a lot of money though, because I'm pretty sure this is like 3 to 4 mil as well. I wouldn't really say it's worth the price because it doesn't really give you too much beneficial things, but it's still a really nice car to have. The next one is the Kuruma, which is kind of the base of everyone's garage. If you want a car that kind of has a level between speed and armor, like perfect balance between that, the Kuruma is basically the best car. Now I did buy this as one of the first vehicles because obviously everyone owns a Kuruma. You either get the Insurgent or the Kuruma. And the great thing about these two cars is you can actually use them on heights as well, which is really sweet. So as you can see over here, I have modified it a little bit. There's more top speed and acceleration than normal. This does have like one of the street racing transmissions on it, and I have customized the colours to be blue and black, which looks really nice. I did want to go for the neon colour scheme, but I thought it was really obnoxious. Then if we move over to the other side of the garage, which is kind of like the garage for utility vehicles, like I mentioned before, vehicles that either have special features or vehicles for certain situations. As you can see over here, we do have one of these fast bikes. The bike rack does allow you to have 6 different bikes on, so you can kind of buy a lot of different bikes. I'm not really too interested in bikes, although I think there is like a bike racing portion of things. And you can do something in here, I'm not sure, I think this is where the mechanic is. But yeah, basically over here we have the Duke of Death. Originally you couldn't actually unlock this online, this was a single player only car, but what's really great is you can actually buy it online now. This is actually in the red and black colour scheme, which is really cool and useful. I've not really customized it too much, I just added basic armors to everything. It already has certain bulletproof options to it, like bulletproof tyres, so you don't really need to modify it too much. The base car or the base chassis of the car is really powerful anyway, but I do prefer this to the Kuruma because it has more of a classic style to it. The only unfortunate thing is you can't actually shoot out the side of the windows because the windows are armoured, which is quite nice to protect you from the right side. And also it's really hard to shoot the left side or the left passenger here, but the right side on the driver's wheel is a little bit more exposed, so you kind of trade in balance and armour on the right hand side of the car for a lack of armour on the front side of the car. But as you can see, the Kuruma is actually more exposed than the Duke of Death anyway, so I think the Duke of Death is probably a better option. And I'm pretty sure that the Duke of Death actually allows you to take one more rocket hit than the Kuruma before being blown up, so I think this is a better car, but you are sacrificing 2 seats for it, so I don't really tend to use it so much. As for race options in my garage, I do actually use the Zentorno. The Zentorno has a perfect balance between speed and, I don't know, the car just looks really nice. It's basically like a rip-off of a Lamborghini, if you like. I'm not sure what sort of model Lamborghini, I'm not too into knowledge of cars, maybe it's an Aventador or something, but this is really nice just to cruise with friends with, and it looks like a really nice style. I have gone for black and red again because, as you can see, literally all of the black and red cars, it's just a general colour scheme that goes well with like every other vehicle. My friend does use this colour scheme a lot though, so I try to kind of opt out of it and use different colours, but this car's really fast and it's probably one of the best for racers. So the last 2 vehicles, as you see, I have actually covered the Oppressor bike already. The last 2 vehicles here, we have the Deluxo, which is actually the Back to the Future car model. This is really useful for like literally every situation. You can fly in the air, you can hover on water, you can hover in mid-air on the street. And it's just really useful because you can use it for missions to actually hover on the water instead of a boat. You can use it to fly if you want to kind of get off the ground or get to a destination really quick. And I've kind of gone for a classic colour style in this. I tried to make it look more retro because obviously Back to the Future is an 80s film. So I tried to use retro colours because using the normal colours it comes with, it looked kind of boring. So I've gone for a yellow inside of the car and a blue house style on the outside. And I do have yellow neon lights on it as well. The next vehicle is the Stromberg. I literally bought this like 1 or 2 days ago, so I have bought this one recently. This isn't really as good as the Deluxo in my opinion, but what is great about this is you can actually use rockets on it. So you can use rockets, and I think you can use machine guns, correct me if I'm wrong. So you can actually use it with rockets as a land car, which is really good to chase people down with, and it's a real good pursuit vehicle. but also you can switch it up, because when you go in the water you can actually go underwater and those rockets turn into torpedoes, so that's really awesome. I have actually used yellow and black because that's kind of like the default submarine-y kind of colours, which is really nice. This is basically all the cars in the garage. I've kind of given an overview of what the cars do, the value of the cars, the price, all the colours and what modifications they have. I do want to kind of go more into depth in these cars, and I do have like 2 or 3 other garages. I've got so much space. As you can see now, we're running on 4.5mm. I did record the first portion of this video when we had around 3mm, but we do have a lot of money. Hopefully I'm going to try and get to 10 or 20mm, so next video we can literally go on a spending spree and I'll buy so many different cars, and then we'll do a garage showcase of the garage inside the CEO tower, so there'll be so many more cars to actually look at, and we'll just buy literally everything in the new updates. So if you like this garage tour, let me know below, like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Let me begin. I came to win. Battle me, that's a sin. I won't tell a sack up. Punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and yet a whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up. If you got the feeling, then jump across the ceiling. Muggs is a funk.